Excellent!
March 6th, 2018 is a day that will live in infamy because it's the day that a bunch of tech YouTubers posted supposed review videos of the Dyson V10 vacuum. These were a bunch of sponsored videos that all went up at the same time. It generated a fair amount of backlash because these were tech reviewers who normally talk about phones or computers or that type of thing, suddenly all talking about vacuums. And since it was sponsored, it was just very obvious that this was a coordinated promotional campaign rather than organic videos. But ever since then, every time I clean a computer on my YouTube channel and I show any part of our vacuum, people are like, hey, you should review the vacuum. So because I need a video today that I can get done fairly quickly, I'm going to do an actual review of my vacuum, which is the Shark Rotator Pet Plus. Yes, you guys, I'm not lying. I'm gonna review my vacuum, and I've been using this vacuum for quite some time, and I actually kind of think it's a cool vacuum. Maybe you're interested. Practically speaking, I'm also gonna be showing you guys a little bit of quick tips on cleaning a computer out, and specifically my advice for if you have to use a vacuum to clean a computer, the right way and the wrong way to do it. Actually, before any of that, my vacuum has been in use, so it's like it's got hair and stuff all over it. I always feel like that's kind of a hack, using the vacuum to clean off the vacuum attachments. Probably everyone knows how to do that. But let's say you've got a computer and it's dusty and you want to clean it. Obviously, grabbing the vacuum might be a quick and easy solution for that, but the fact is you're not supposed to take a vacuum, even with an attachment with a brush on the end like this, and simply stick it into a computer. There are 3 reasons why you should not do this. 1 is static buildup and the possibility of ESD, or electrostatic discharge. A vacuum moves a lot of air, and especially if you're in a hot and dry environment, that can create static buildup, and then that can shock a component. And while damage from something like that is rare, it is something that you generally want to avoid. A little bit more practically speaking, and something that you might actually damage if you just go in and willy-nilly start putting a vacuum attachment that's in use up against your motherboard, for example, is not all these pieces are held on like super securely. And with something that's applying a decent amount of suction, you might, pull plugs out for one, but you might actually rip components off of a motherboard or PCB. So that's also a danger and something you should avoid. Finally, you probably have some fans in your case. Fans get dusty and you might want to clean them, but fans are actually only made to rotate at a specific RPM. And depending on what kind of bearing you're working with, if you spin the fans really fast by applying the amount of airflow that a typical household vacuum can apply, you might actually spin the fans at a high enough RPM that it damages the bearing, and then they might either not work, or they might start to make noise, or they might start to wobble, and none of those are good things, so that's something else you want to avoid by not just taking a vacuum and applying it to a computer. That's not to say that vacuums are useless when it comes to cleaning a PC, so if you have something like a mesh front that might have dust built up on it, I do personally feel that using a vacuum on the outside of the case, the exterior dust filters, is an okay use case. You might also have built-in removable dust filters like this, and of course, pull these off and absolutely use a vacuum on them. That is the best way to do it. Shy of washing them, of course. You can wash them, just make sure they dry completely before you reinstall. The same goes for removable dust filters like these that might be on the top or the sides of a case. If you can remove them and then vacuum them off apart from the case, go ahead and do that. Even if it's right up against the case, it's okay to just vacuum from the outside. Again, just make sure if you have fans up against there that you are holding the fan blades so that they don't spin. And with those methods, you should be able to give your PC a pretty nice cleaning using your vacuum, but hopefully keeping your PC safe. Oh God. If you have something like a motherboard or a graphics card or something that has cake really built up on it or caked on that you want to clean and you want to be aided by your vacuum, I recommend doing something like this. Get yourself a separate brush, a nice soft brush. This is a makeup brush, and it's actually not even the one I usually use. It's just the one that was convenient enough for me to grab. I will set the vacuum to its lowest speed if possible and set the vacuum nozzle adjacent to what I'm dusting off. Then you can dust off your components. The dust should get sucked up into the vacuum. That should help to actually clean the components off rather than just spreading the dust around, and it will keep you from sucking components off of your motherboard or, again, the possibility of ESD. And now on to my actual vacuum review of the Shark Rotator Pet Pro. What's this thing called again? It's the Shark Rotator Pet Plus. There it is on Amazon. It currently sells for about $300, and we've had this, I'm gonna say, for maybe 3 or 4 years, and you might be able to tell it's currently in use because this is where all the dust and stuff goes, and it's currently full. Actually, it looks like it's over full. So that's where we can begin, is I guess just to empty this. So this lifts away, it's its own separate unit, and you empty this into a trash can or whatever. You do have to push that little lever at the bottom, which is hard to do with one hand. There we go. So if you need to perform maintenance on this, it's got like a 3-stage filter. So this is the final stage here. This doesn't usually get too messy, but you can clean that out if you want. This one lifts away and you can just wash it out. And it's got another filter down here in the bottom. Again, pretty simple to wash and then let dry. It's been probably a month and a half since I cleaned this out, which was post the home remodel that we had done back towards the beginning of this year. So it's got an okay amount of dust in there, but doesn't quite need to be cleaned out yet. This unit here just pops back on like that. And here's our power cord. If there's one thing that I really don't use, it's the straps here for the power cord. You can wrap it from there down to there, but you have to kind of go around some of the attachments. So I usually just end up looping it like that and hanging it over the back. That probably triggers some OCD for some people around here, but that's just, I'm trying to be honest. This is how I've been using this device. But if I'm really being honest, what I really like about this vacuum is its modularity and its practicality. For example, right here at the top is the main handle, and right there, where your thumb is the power button. So that makes it really easy to turn on and off, and having the button where your thumb is. I've used vacuums where the switch is down there on the side or whatever. It's just a good place to have it. Also up here you have some controls for the brush down at the bottom. Lowest position is for hard floor, and that turns the rotating brush off. And then you can do in the middle if you've got medium pile or high pile like that. Again, just pretty easy to switch back and forth. I will often use this setting for going over our bare floors that we have out here, but we also have a rug and some carpet in the back. So for that, I switched to this one. And I don't think I've ever really used the high pile option. But if you look at the chamber there, that's where it's generating the suction. And the suction sucks in right here into this tube. And you can actually release this tube right here if you want to. This is more for cleaning and maintenance though, but the reason I point this out is because if we follow the tube, suction would be going that way. The tube goes up to the top here and then into the handle. With this button, we can release the handle. Note that there is an electrical connection there on top of the tube for the suction to go through, and then the tube at the back has a little hook there that you can unhook, and then that's what gives you this to be used in handheld mode. And for this you have attachments, and bear in mind you can put the attachments right on here to use handheld, or you've got this long wand piece there and you can do wand release. I'll show you that in just a second. The attachments though, you got this one with the brush on the end. This is probably the one I use the most often, and then you can also press in on that and drop it down to give yourself a higher suction corner tool. Here you have a brush attachment. You can also pop that off for upholstery. Yeah. And then this is part of what makes it the special pet edition, and you can probably tell this is really dusty because we don't use it that often. But when we really do want to do all like the couches and stuff like that, this has a rotating brush built into it. It's also got a little suction control. It's also powered, so you can plug that in. That's the fanciest attachment, but also one that we use the most seldom. So if you're using this in regular vacuum mode, you know, vacuuming, and then there's a little spot cleaning you want to do, you just make it vertical like that, pop this thing off the top, and then you can go handheld. Grab an attachment from down here and you can get yourself some cleaning in the corners. And because this is the same tube that goes to the main suction chamber that also goes down to the main area, main vacuuming part down there. I don't know what the bottom is called here, but it's the main vacuuming part. You're not losing any suction, or it's not diverting the suction, so you get really good suction off of that. Likewise, you've got this wand attachment, so if you're connected there, you can pop that off. Then you've got the entire length of the wand you can use, put more attachments down there so you can stand to reach some stuff. Or drop that back in and you can lift this entire thing away. Lift that away, but this unit is still powered, so it's still gonna power the brushes down at the bottom. That means if you need to go under a bed or under the crib in the nursery or something, you can actually do that without moving the furniture, as long as you've got, 5 inches of clearance or so. Of course, with the lift away thing here, you could, just attach that piece completely, leave it off to the side, and just go walking around with this if you wanted. And then you can drop that back on. If you want to go back to normal, then you just gotta rehook the tube, you're good to go. I also want to point out that the hand attachment here has a light built into it. It's off by default, but as soon as you detach that, the light will turn on. There are also lights across the front of the bottom of the unit. That's really helpful if you're vacuuming across a bare floor. It actually lights up really well what's in front of it. So if there's debris or dust or hair or whatever in front of the vacuum, that makes it really easy to see and vacuum up. And especially if you're cleaning in a darker room or something like that, just the ability to have an easily accessible light that turns on as soon as you use the hand attachment is just really convenient. It's a good design. It's intelligent. Down here on the base of the main cleaning piece, or whatever this is called. You do have edge cleaning on this side, so it does a pretty good job if you go right up against the edge of sucking stuff up there. It's also got a brush roll indicator. If the brush roll locks up, that will light up and let you know that you got a jam and you should clean it. This is where you're supposed to put your foot to recline the vacuum, or whatever that's called. It is sort of a manual process. That's slightly awkward, but once you get used to it, it's not bad at all. And it's worth pointing out that this is your exhaust for the entire unit, so it's going to be kicking air kind of up and out the front. And I only bring this up because sometimes I'm vacuuming and Hero's on the couch, and then this blows a bunch of hot air in his face, and then he looks at me and he's like, hey, what's the deal? That's where the hot air comes from. I am overdue to clean out the bottom. As you can see, the roller gets lots of hair and stuff built up on it. That's pretty normal for most vacuums, but again, just fairly easy to remove. You just need a slot screwdriver or a coin. You can open that up, pop this off, and I've already cleaned it a few times. It's pretty easy just to snip stuff off and get it back up and running again. So guys, that's my vacuum cleaner, the Shark Rotator True Pet, and I actually like it because it's modular and stuff, and every time I go and like take it apart, and it kind of feels like a transformer. I do a pretty decent amount of cleaning around here, kind of trade off with my wife from time to time. But I learned from my mom from a very young age that if your house is untidy and unkempt, then it means your mind is untidy and unkempt, or something like that. So we should all try to keep our houses clean, and this vacuum has been how I have dealt with having flat floors, 2 dogs, a little girl now, and just lots of dirt that builds up very quickly, and we have to clean it. Anyway, it looks like Hero is needing to go outside, so I'm gonna cut this off. On behalf of Hero and myself, thank you very much for watching this video. It is not sponsored. It is a product that I've used many times. I would happily recommend it to anyone who's looking for a better solution for cleaning their homes, especially if you have pets. Sorry about the automatic light balance there, but that's all for this one, guys. If you really enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know again if these sort of in-between videos are scratching your itch to watch videos or not. Whatever comments you have, leave them in the comments section. We'll see you guys in the next video.